And of course, by that point, I'd had so much cold mackerel pie I had to blow off. Listeners, I've been lying to you. That was that wasn't even original. I've done that one at least 2 times before in the last 200 episodes. It's from Sir Henry at Rawlinson End, a comedy album by Vivian Stanshall of the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band.
I don't take any notice of what you say there anyway.
You don't take notice of anything I say.
That's true.
Except that. You heard that. Throughout that intro, boys and girls, when we were laughing, welcome to the podcast, by the way, Matt was shoving bottles of what could only be described on this end of the Skype call, sort of weapons-grade chemicals up his nose.
Weapons-grade chemicals? They were not weapons-grade chemicals. They were Vallejo model colour Deck Tan and Vallejo model colour Silver Grey.
Are they flammable?
No, they are they're water-based, non-toxic acrylic paints.
Can they be poisonous if swallowed?
No, non-toxic.
Could you bludgeon anyone's head in with the bottles?
I mean, if you had enough bottles. But they can be installed nasally, as we've discovered.
Must we have... What's the name of that paint again?
Must we have Vallejo model colour Silver Grey that can be installed nasally?
Yes,
we must.
Welcome everybody to Big Damn Cast, nerdy news, geeky gossip, or whatever the flip we want to talk about this week.
Yeah, that's true.
I am Chris, getting to know you, getting to know all about you, Johnson.
And my name is Matthew. Get real tired of your shit, Watson.
Don't remember that song in The King and I.
It's in Anna and the King.
Oh, fair enough.
The non-musical remake, which has one musical number.
Called
It's just
I'm Getting Tired of Your Shit.
Anna going to the King of Siam saying, getting real tired of your shit, King of Siam.
Does she do that dance as well? Waving her arms around
she
like
does the
a traffic
Adventure
warden?
Time wavy arms.
Little tendrils sticking out to one side. Oh my god.
Getting real tired of your shit, Mr. Wayne.
The Batman Nolan trilogy would have been greatly improved on Michael Caine, but in possession of Jake and Finn Wibbly arms for the entire series. That would have been amazing.
Oh, Michael Caine.
I failed you. I failed you. He says, his arms wibbling as he grabs a Kleenex. Next week's our 5th birthday, folks.
Can you not tell?
I was saying mentally, like, it's this should be obvious to even a new listener that we've got the brain of a 5-year-old.
Chris, we don't have any new listeners. We haven't had any new listeners since 2017.
We haven't had any new listeners since 2015. That's before this shit even started.
Well.
We're in inverse listeners. No, it's really weird. Those of you who are listening right now, according to the data that we receive, y'all are faithful and listening and tuning in every week. Audibly. You come into Spotify, you go into Apple, you go into SoundCloud and other podcast providers. For that, thanks very much. YouTube Massive, where the fuck are you guys at? The YouTube numbers have been weird this year.
Because people have gone, why am I watching this audio show on YouTube?
That's very true, but they're missing out on all the weird little visual Easter eggs we insert into every 28th frame.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing that you do.
I put subliminals in there. I wrote, keep listening to the... Wait. Is keep spelled...
There we go.
S-T-O-P?
Yes, that's exactly how keep is spelled.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, then it should be working. I don't understand why it's, So next week's our 5th anniversary. Details on what's going to be going on to acknowledge such an occasion later in the show, so stick around. But first, that's what you call a keep 'em sticking around technique.
That's a tease.
That's called a little nipple tickle.
You just wait for the call to action.
Oh my god, is that what you call your penis?
No.
Oh.
That's what I do to my penis. No.
Are you ready, boy? I am now.
Action. I said action.
You can't get it up unless there's a clapperboard in the room, boys and girls.
I said... are we still rolling? Alright. You might have to slate this again.
fact that over Skype I could just see you looking down at your crotch as you mime out this weird scenario where you are. Oh my god! Just commitment to the bit. That's commitment to the bit.
Well, quite.
Also, you're shooting from the waist up, so for all I know,
could be shirt cocking it.
Straight up shirt cocking it.
But you won't. But you wouldn't know that unless TJ Miller's here to
say it 85 times, and really hammer home the joke that was funny the first, maybe second time.
I would argue the joke that was funny maybe the first time.
This is the last time TJ Miller will be in a Deadpool film. Please don't try and pretend to blow up a train or call the FBI on a train because you're in a mood. Anyway.
Please don't be TJ Miller.
Just don't be TJ Miller, guys. Don't be TJ. Do you remember when they TJ Miller'd, was it Ready Player One he was in?
Yeah.
Yeah. For a moment there I was like, no, it was Alita, but that's because, like, the Alita robot people kind of looked like all the avatars in Ready Player One, so my brain was putting them together. But yeah,
that was Jackie Earle Haley in Alita Battle Angel.
It was. Do you know what? I'm waiting for that to pop up on a streaming service. I'll give that another spin.
Keats watched it not too long ago. It's fine. It's still too long, and it's trying to do about 3 films at the same
sequel
time.
baits in the most criminal way as well. It's like, oh. Because I remember
it's
being like,
too many films.
I remember being like, has Rodriguez gone off the deep end? And then you watch the Boba Fett episode of Mandalorian Series 2 and you go, nope, he's still good.
I think everyone involved in Alita Battle Angel just bit off a little bit more than they could chew.
He's just a little effects heavy. He's still good. Just
a little bit too much.
The greased up Robert Rodriguez. He's just a little greasy. It's too good. It's still good. Oh my god. It's just a little airborne. It's still good. It's still good.
Oh, no.
Oh, my Christ in all of his kingdoms and his crack den. Do you know what got the green light this week? In the world of Ekinema.
What?
Which is not the thing that you chant when you're having your heart pulled out in Temple of
No.
No.
No, tell me what got the green light.
Cruella 2.
No.
Now, 2 things upset me about this. One,
Cruella.
That's the second thing. The second thing that upsets me is that it's not called Cruella. It's a given, right?
And there's 2 Cruellas.
The first thing is, are we really, really cementing the fact that now, with this movie, by the time Cruella 2 comes out, circa sort of 2024, let's say,
probably,
we will be like a decade into this, this is what Disney are doing, we guess, mission statement of what Disney Plus affectionately misnames them, reimagined classics. It's kind of odd. It's like Maleficent kicked off this wave. The waters were tested in 2010 by Alice in Wonderland. And then Maleficent kicked off this wave of, this is a thing we're doing and we're going to keep ballywell doing it. Taking those classic animations you all love and either doing them again but nowhere near as fun, or doing origin stories for one of the characters that take away everything you like about that character as a boo-hiss character to watch and jeer at.
I've got to admit, it's not a strategy that I love.
Oh, God, no. I mean, what have we had? Alice in Wonderland is interesting. Maleficent is a good central performance, but kind of a pointless exercise by the end of it. In terms of, this is not about Maleficent. This is not about the character that we all saw in Sleeping Beauty and went, she's kind of brilliant. What a great villain. In the end, it's, no, this is not that version. It's saying something, and what it's saying is quite powerful, but it's not. You didn't have to do it with Maleficent. You could have done it with a whole new thing. Cinderella, fine. It's a live-action cinematic version of a fairy tale that's been done 1 billion times over. Maybe I stomach that one a little more because, like, you know, we're in the UK, so every year there's like 85 different Cinderellas going on at British theatres. You know, so it's like, you just kind of go, all right, yeah, that is a story everyone has a version of, so sure, whatever. Then, chronologically, I'm trying to remember what was next. Was Jungle Book next? Might have been. 2016, that was.
I guess.
And that's... like, it's good. But, like, here we are 5 years on, and the sequel that was greenlit hasn't started yet. So it's obviously not a priority for them, despite that being one of the ones where you're like, do you know what? This is kind of cool. Seeing this very old school classic story told in this visual style, this is really cool. But also, what was with the Walken casting? So weird.
I mean, good, but weird.
Very freaking weird. I mean, for Christ's sake, there's a cowbell in the monkey temple. Anyway.
Technically, this should be a monkey bell.
I have a fever. My only cure is more monkey bell. Beauty and the Beast. Garbage fire.
Yeah,
really
it's not
pointless. So stupid.
It's not good at all. It's not. It's really bad, actually.
Then what came next? Dumbo, which neither of us flocked to.
Cinderella?
No, Cinderella was prior then. Okay. There was a year where there was a bunch. Dumbo, Lion King.
No, it was Lion King,
and
then
Aladdin.
Dumbo, then
all came
Aladdin.
out in the same year. They were
Oh,
all
was it Dumbo,
they were all
then Lion King?
2019.
God,
Yeah,
damn.
they were all 2019, and then late 2019, Lady and the Tramp was a Disney Plus starting day exclusive as like an incentive.
Yeah, I don't love that.
No one talks about that one as well. Like, it's never spoken of. So I guess it didn't work. But that might have to do with the fact that Disney Plus had a scattered release worldwide. Because like we got it like 6 months after America got it.
Yeah, I suppose.
So everyone was sort of avoiding talking about Disney Plus stuff because they didn't want to spoil it for other people or didn't want it to be spoiled by people who'd got it before them. Like, do you remember there was a whole 6 months where we essentially avoided Mandalorian spoilers. Like the only thing we learned was that Baby Yoda was a thing. Because there was no way that was not going to be turned into GIFs the moment it was revealed.
Yeah.
So by the time it came over here in like March 2020, we were like, okay, we know there's a little green baby version of Yoda in this. That's all we know, other than like it's a Western kind of. Okay, sure. So that was kind of decent of the world to not wreck it too bad. Like you can obviously find the spoilers if you went digging, but you know. And then now we're in Cruella country. Oh, we had Maleficent, Mistress of Evil as well. That was another one that came out during that period.
Oh God, of course.
So,
Jesus.
Cruella, the internet didn't hold back on spoilers for this one because there are people who've dug it, and to them I say, great, good, brilliant, genuinely more power to you. But the people who didn't dig it all seem to be spilling the beans because they're just overwhelmed by plot decisions that seem like they've come out of a Mad Libs brainstorm for what would be a really funny version of a Cruella de Vil origin story.
It does sound pretty wild, I'm not going to lie.
All in it. And it's like, what? And a baffling ending note. A really weird... mild spoilers for Cruella, folks. Mild spoilers.
Tell me about the mild spoilers for a film I'm probably never going to watch, despite quite liking Emma Stone as a performer.
I think that's one of the two reasons people are watching it, I think. One, oh, I like Emma Stone. I'll go see that. And two, I've heard of this character. I'll go see that. And that's it. Because it's like...
Which is why Disney keep doing these, like, let's be honest.
Yeah. It's just... but the thing is, we've now got, like, what? In the Disney reimagined classic cinematic universe.
Oh, I hate it.
Cinderella's fine. Jungle Book's kind of cool. And that's it. There's a couple of cool moments in Aladdin, but mostly it's sort of a damp squib by the end.
It doesn't hold together. But Naomi Scott kind of...
Naomi Scott as Jasmine
Naomi
is very
Scott
cool.
kind of really comes out that film, while everything else is just like... It's like the poor guy who played Aladdin in it is like, yeah, I couldn't get any work after I did that.
Yeah, he's been really open about it, and it's you know...
It's mate, you weren't that good in it. So
yeah, it's like,
sorry.
A, you were fine, and B, like, they're not looking to grow and cultivate careers over there. They're looking to remake films we've already seen again.
Yeah, I feel for you, but like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, the fuck was that with Jafar? Like, what the hell? Anyway.
Who knows? Who knows?
So yeah, in case you can't tell, we've both had thoughts on that movie since we saw it. I remember we came out of it like, that was not as bad as we assumed it was going to be, but it was still kind of pointless.
I mean, it's not as bad as I thought. I still don't think it was that bad, but it's just... When it needs to... It's one of those films when it needs to come to life and sort of lift a bit, it never does.
Oh, fair enough.
So it just never gets above the sort of... It just never hits
It needed
Just
more.
never gets into gear.
It needed more of the genie going, aha!
No,
There's that.
that's exactly what it didn't need.
That's what it needed. It just needed. We would have gone in, and it should have just been the intro to YouTube Rewind 2018 or whichever year it was that opens with Will Smith just going, "There's that." It's like that should have just show that for an hour. Would have been fine.
Did it need more DJ Khaled?
Oh jeez! The moment the credits start and it's the remix sort of song using samples of "Friend Like Me," and it opens. The film's just ended on that note of a whole new world. Oh my god, starstruck couple like lovers. Off they go. Whole bright future ahead. Isn't this magical? Oh wow! And then 5 seconds into the credits, DJ Khaled. Like that is the most. What is this? Another one. Another one. Fuck off. Go away. Just Jeez.
Another.
Come on, man.
Another one bites the dust.
And this is why producers should not be a headliner. Anyway, also there was that time he was meant to front like Glastonbury and pulled out last second, citing a family emergency, and then posted to his Instagram that he'd gone on vacation with some of his family and friends. And you're like,
yeah, the emergency was that he needed to go on holiday with them, or they were going to cut him off financially.
Mental. Another one, he says, booking another family holiday. So yeah, like Cruella's origin starts kind of when a horrible tragedy befalls her when she's young, and she loses someone.
I've heard about this
at the hands of a villain who uses their vicious Dalmatians to attack someone.
I have heard of this.
Oh god! So they're trying to make you go, oh, that's why she doesn't like Dalmatians. Except in the movie, she ends up keeping those Dalmatians, or presumably later generations of the same Dalmatians, because like Dalmatians don't live for 30 odd years, guys.
They do in Disney films.
Yeah, well, then at the end, those Dalmatians have a litter, and they give the litter to different people, including Roger and Anita, who feature in the film. I don't know if they ever meet, but they're in it. Kay Van Novak is Roger, funnily enough.
Yeah, that's interesting casting, I think.
And they are each given a puppy. So you, the viewer, knowing that this is a film based on the villain from 101 Dalmatians, assumes, oh, that's going to be Pongo, and that's going to be Perdita. That's kind of cool. And
is it, though?
Then your brain thinks about it for 2 seconds, and you go, isn't that incest?
Yeah, but
They're
not
from
incest
the same litter.
It's not incest if it's animals, it's pedigree.
Nah, I don't believe for a second that nobody involved in the production didn't at least stop. At least not one person didn't stop and go, guys, does that mean Pongo and Perdita are brother and sister?
Yes, it does.
But they do it because they want the circle to be complete and they want the viewer to go, I know what that means!
It's 101 Dalmatians, but not all of them have all their toes. Some of them have extras.
Here's something I learned. So Dalmatians, in terms of like the market, there is a notoriety for them having a really mean streak. Like Dalmatians are very friendly, very loyal, but they can sort of snap and have these kind of moments. And the reason for that, they're known as a breed that can be difficult.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because of inbreeding, mass inbreeding. And the reason for that is because of, and it jumps up in like the 60s and the 90s is when they've traced it to these booms.
Huh.
The same decades when 101 Dalmatians and the live-action remake of 101 Dalmatians came out. Because there are people out there that see a movie, go, I want that, and get it, and then mistreat it, or let it go, or let them shag each other, etc., etc.
One more time for those at the back. Huh.
A Dalmatian is for life, not just because your kid saw a movie.
101 Dalmatians is for several lives. And at least one very nice coat.
Do you remember how many puppies Perdita actually has in the original?
How many puppies she has, or how many of her own puppies she has sex with, because that's a really inbred family.
That would explain how they got the 101. No, she has like 15.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are just ones that Cruella's been holding on to so that she can have the coat made. Because that's the thing, isn't it? At the end,
holding on to Dalmatians.
That's the thing, isn't it? At the end, they all come back and it's like, oh, we can't have all of them. And it's, but look at them, Roger, darling. Also, I have a fetish for cleaning shit off the carpets. This will save our marriage.
I just love cleaning shit up.
It's mad. Just
Love cleaning up rancid dog shits from these really aggressive inbred Dalmatians.
Yeah.
101 Dalmatians is one of those kids' films that just falls apart when you think about it.
Not so much
And
as
now
Cruella, apparently.
Disney are challenging you. They're challenging you to think about it, knowing that if you think about it, it will fall apart.
Yeah.
And what you're going to have to do then is you're going to have to go back on Disney Plus and you're going to have to go and watch 101 Dalmatians again. Both versions to be like, hang on, that doesn't make any sense. That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
That's how we get to Sky Ghosts.
That's the... Sky Ghosts are all inbred Dalmatians.
In the year plus since we covered Disney Plus en masse, have you watched...
The year plus of Disney Plus.
The year plus of Disney Plus. Have you watched any of the Sky Ghost movies?
No!
I've been so tempted to finally pull the trigger on Mr. Boogedy.
Christopher, I've barely watched the films on Disney Plus that I actually want to watch, let alone watch things I don't want to watch.
But Matt, Mr. Boogedy...
We should do Mr. Boogedy at Halloween.
We should. Mr. Boogedy and Fuzz Bucket.
What we should do for this Halloween is get together and watch a bunch of the quote-unquote horror, like, Disney movies on Disney Plus, like the Halloween-y Disney movies. Not like the horror stuff that's on Star.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Halloween-y stuff that's on Disney Plus.
Let's annoy people and just watch Halloween Town 2.
Not watch Halloween Town.
Let's not watch Halloween Town.
But, Christopher, I want to know the rich lore of the Halloween Town cinematic universe.
Oh, good lord. Oh, jeez. Do you know what Lucy watched for the first time the other week? And I realised, I unlocked a memory in my head. I was like, I'm sure I've seen this. And then I realised I did. I had. And my God, it was awful. Over on Netflix, 13 Ghosts popped up as a suggestion for
the
Tony Shalhoub.
Early 2000s remake with Tony Shalhoub and
Yeah, it is. Bless Tony Shalhoub. Bless Shannon Elizabeth. Triple bless Matthew Lillard. They are trying. They're trying.
I have memories of 13 Ghosts having some really interesting creature design and set design in it.
Now that's the thing. I grew up thinking that it was like a cult favourite, and then as we're watching it, I'm like, this is horseshit.
This is really
bad.
By all accounts, I haven't seen the original 13 Ghosts, but by all accounts, the original 13 Ghosts is, if anything, even worse.
Okay.
Especially because in the original 13 Ghosts, there aren't actually 13 ghosts.
Well, there barely are in this. You see them in a room,
ghosts, but
and you see glimpses
of them.
You see glimpses of like a couple of them in the film, but then you see them in the room at the end. So I looked it up, and I realised the cult following it has is for the creature design.
Oh yeah,
that's it. Like that's
Absolutely.
why the film is liked.
Absolutely.
It's dire.
Because I've been listening to a podcast recently called the Evolution of Horror.
Yeah.
Really neat podcast, and it's basically they do in their sort of seasons they go from like beginning to end on one like genre of horror movies. So they've been doing some ghosts. I'm listening to the Ghosts strand at the moment, and they're talking about like sort of the also rans of the genre, and 13 Ghosts and Ghost Ship came up as like a single pair because that's the same director.
Is it?
Who directed both those movies, and they were both released within 11 months of each other.
Yeah.
And then he never directed anything again. And that... And 13 Ghosts, Ghost Ship, and House on Haunted Hill, the remake from the 2000s.
Yeah, the Liam Neeson.
All the same production company.
That's dog shit too.
Yeah, they're all the same production company. And they all sort of start with I don't know if 13 Ghosts does, but they all have like a grisly opening, and then nothing happens to the rest of the film.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts has sort of got like it has a really grisly opening because it's the capture of the big hulking one, like in a scrapyard, and someone gets like beaten to death inside this glass case. Yeah. Oh shit, that's a really good point. The best thing the movie does is in the first 5 minutes. That opening sequence is like, what is happening? And oh my god, that was gory. And was that a ghost? That's a fucked up design for a ghost. I've never seen anything like that before. And then there's this shot that shows like Tony Shalhoub and his kids and his wife. They're having a lovely day, and it's a single camera shot of it slowly rotating around the room, pulling away from the window, turning left, panning around the walls, and you see like the family. You hear the sounds in the background of like it's like a fire at the house or something or whatever. You hear the carnage, the room is slowly, and all the while the cast names are coming up on screen and everything.
Yeah.
You see the walls, and it's this practical set. It's brilliantly executed, the shot. The walls are all burnt and torn up, and by the time the camera's gone all the way round, you've seen from the pictures and newspaper clippings randomly all up on the walls about like her dying and the family having to move in together elsewhere. And by the time it's panned all the way around, you are now looking out of the same window, but the window is to an apartment block. It's to like the fourth story of an apartment building, looking at another one across the way.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's all practical. It's one set, and then they've obviously had to move certain stuff around in the frame and change the lighting. So it's this natural it's like, that's amazing storytelling.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie, everyone just speaks in exposition.
I think I'll have to rewatch it because I think I do remember really liking the visuals of that movie, but the plot is just complete fucking nonsense.
There's a wisecracking babysitter who is she's the comic relief. She's impervious to harm. She's in peril like briefly twice.
Yeah.
And then she's just wacky and zany. And she is copy pasted as a character that's a parody of the comic relief in Scary Movie. You know, the friend who like gets stabbed in the cinema because she keeps yelling at the screen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's that character. It's the exact same character.
Wow.
It's so like, which came first?
Wow.
Because if this came after Scary Movie,
I think
then
Scary
that's really
Movie.
tone deaf.
I think Scary Movie came first because it came hot on the heels of Scream.
Oh,
which was 96 or 7.
Scary Movie was definitely 99 at the earliest. Cause
I think 13 Ghosts was like, I think 13 Ghosts was like 2001.
Oh wow! So they didn't even like go. That trope's been mocked recently. Maybe we shouldn't do it. Oh god, Scary Movie's an odd one. I still have a soft spot for the first one. There's just something about it. You can feel a lot of like love in its execution.
I don't think I could go back and watch it. I have a feeling if I go back and watch it, I'll throw the TV through the window.
I think if I watch number 2 onwards, I'd have that. Well, I know for a fact from 3 onwards I'd have that vibe, but like number 2 at least has Tim Curry and David Cross in it. But
yeah, I suppose it's just I just can't get like just the thought of what I've really soured on comedy as I've gotten older. Like comedy, it's just so much harder.
As you can tell, listener, from that dead air just then.
Yeah,
I'm sick
just
of comedy.
I'm just sick of comedy. I've really soured on comedy as I've gotten older. I've just found it really hard for a lot of that stuff to sort of engage me and hold my attention and not just want to fucking just destroy everything I see of it. Of every available opportunity.
Do you have comfort comedies, like ones you go back to that do actually kind of give you the warm fuzzies?
No, not really, not anymore. Like I can't think of any. Maybe I think the closest you could get to something like that would be Ghostbusters.
Oh right, in terms of comedy movies, okay, yeah.
But like it's like the thought of watching like a modern comedy just fills me with dread.
Oh no, I'm kind of on the same wavelength with you there. They don't do things for me.
And it's like we talked a few episodes back about like the thought of going back to American Pie or Austin Powers. Just I can't even countenance that.
You would rather live on with a faint, yeah, I think I enjoyed that. And
rather than go back and be like, this is fucking dog shit, which I feel like I probably would feel that. And that, you know, I don't want to know that for sure because then I'll feel like I'm getting too old.
So a Scary Movie episode, folks, look out for it this October.
Yeah, I'll fuck off.
Mr. Boogedy and then Scary Movie. It's gonna be a good one.
I remember being quite excited about the third one because Leslie Nielsen was in it, and then hating it.
Yeah, like he's the one good thing in it, and even then, they don't use him enough to justify watching it. Really,
I mean, the problem is,
and then they use him in the superhero movie in the Uncle Ben role.
Oh, God,
that's awful. That's the second Scary Movie's the first one where you kind of get a few references, a few jokes where the joke is just remember this thing, and there's no gag set up, and then everyone after that is just references. I had the displeasure of seeing Epic Movie in the cinemas back in like 2007.
God.
Fucking terrible. Like the jokes were just, that's Giselle from Enchanted.
Yeah,
He's
like,
Jack
just
Sparrow.
can't.
It's like, is this it? Kim Kardashian's in that.
Yeah, because that's all it became. It was just like, oh, we're gonna do.
No, before she was Kim Kardashian. She's an actor
God.
in it. It's really,
Okay.
yeah, and that's how much of an
That's
impact
odd.
that movie had, that she's like a household name worldwide. No one fucking remembers that she was in
Yeah,
Epic Movie.
and there were so many of those fucking things.
Oh, they're terrible. Superhero movie was awful. Starring, as it turns out, alleged pederast and woman beater Drake Bell.
Of course.
Who,
Of course.
which means now we have at least one animated Spider-Man who was an actual villain.
Fantastic.
Another
I
reason
wanted
to
to-
never watch Ultimate Spider-Man, folks.
I wanted to go back to something you spoke about recently and say that I watched Inside this
Oh,
weekend.
Bo Burnham, didn't it crush your soul a little bit?
It
between
did.
The chuckles?
It's very, very good.
It's
very good.
It's insanely brilliant.
It's very, very good.
It has no right to be as good as it is.
I don't know. I think it has every right to be as good as it is.
Yeah,
I think it's
for one
really
human.
good stuff.
For one human to achieve that, like,
Oh well, yeah.
my God,
That's,
just
it's
no.
real good stuff.
And it's the bits where you can tell where he's, minor spoilers for the Netflix special Inside. There are bits where you can tell where he's constructed a narrative, and then in the edit gone, no, do you know what? And then has chosen to add things later, like the bit early on where there's the song that references suicide, and then he gives a piece to camera where you can tell he actually feels like, I should probably stress.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. Like, honestly, don't. And he's kind of talking from the heart and trying to keep it funny, but not too... Because like, there's a song in... it's either What or Make Happy in his previous specials called Kill Yourself, which is a mockery of the inspirational songs like Roar and, Rise and all these sorts of songs.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, after it's finished, he says, like, by the way, I just have to reiterate, that was a joke. Don't fucking kill yourself, obviously. Okay. And then in this, he obviously has that kind of same thing.
Yeah.
But then he edits to a shot filmed months later of him playing that footage onto himself and him looking really kind of, this fucking guy. Like, in reaction to him being more optimistic and positive. And then obviously when you get up to that point in the special where he was in the projected bit, you're like, yeah, he's not in a good spot at that point. Of course he's going to be saying shut the fuck up to the positive past version of himself. But also, there's a blurred line. Because all of this could be artificial.
Yeah.
But it's definitely coming from a place of truth. Like the bit where he has a strop in the studio toward the end, I think that's a real take. And he's like, I'm keeping that in. And then the bit in the mirror when he finally breaks down, I think that's a performance. Because it leads into... Coming from a real place, but it's leading into that transition to the All Eyes on Me sequence and like where you think it's going to end.
Yeah.
And it's... Do you know what I mean? It's like he wants to bottle that and make sure you know it. God, there's so much about it, isn't there? There's so much about it.
It's very good. Yeah,
The comedy's incredible, but like the comedy's not what you leave thinking about. It's just him turning 30 in lockdown was like everyone's been through that in the last year, but it was terrifying to me because I was like, "Yep, exact same numbers, motherfucker." That is, I'm having those feelings now about like, have I done enough? Have I done the right thing? What's going on? Has it been a waste of time? Has this been a waste of time? The fuck am I doing with my life?
Get ready for those feelings to intensify
I
with each
know!
successive birthday. Yeah.
I still have them. I am currently semi-employed, and I'm still like, I don't think this is the right decision. What am I doing? What is this? Am I wasting my time? Am I going to be back to square one next week? And I was like, let me just put on this comedy special to forget all of these horrible feelings.
Oh no, he's doing the thing.
And then watching him turn 30 and be like, I wanted to be done with this fucking special. And I turned 30 and I turned 30 in 5 minutes. And it's like, even that's like a lack of achievement because he's not done the thing he set himself to. Oh my God, it was so upsettingly real in so many ways. And yet when the comedy hits,
go of them.
The comedy hits so bad, like so well. FaceTime with my mom is incredible. White Woman's Instagram is a bizarre mockery of fake works of art that is a work of art in itself.
It's strong stuff. It is strong stuff.
He's only 2 songs have been released. Only 2 clips have been put out online so far. Netflix is, in case anyone's listening and like, this sounds interesting, but I don't know. Go check out the samples. The 2 clips, though, one of them deals with something deeper, but these are the 2 more kind of fanciful routines, really, outside of the intro. Netflix is a Joke's YouTube channel has the entirety of FaceTime with my mum on it to watch. And Bo, to his own YouTube channel this week, made his first upload in forever, because that's how he rolls now. He does it once in a million years, as he should. Because he makes a point in his last special and this one of saying, if you can live your life without an audience, do it. Like, the internet is training you to think you have to perform all the time. Don't. Get the fuck out of there. So he rarely uploads clips, but when he does, he picks something that's going to make you think. So the one that's on his YouTube channel is Welcome to the Internet. Which is the most kind of... That was the one song in the special where I was like, I can imagine that having been written for whatever live show he was meant to do this year.
Yeah, like I can believe that.
That one feels like him at his piano telling a story. Just, oh, fuck, that one is terrifying. And especially as it goes into that second half, and you're like, where are we going with it? And then you're like, oh...
Nowhere good!
Oh, God! For somebody who's got, like, massive body confidence issues as well, dude pushes himself in this. To great effect.
Yeah.
Like, to great effect. Like, he is not... He's not shying away from his things that he perceives as a weakness or things that are actual kind of obstacles to him in the pursuit of what he wants to do. He's very open about them, and in this he tackles them head on more than once. And it's just, oh man, so much love for that special.
Yeah,
so
it's
much
good.
love. I watched it
very good.
Over a week ago, and I'm still thinking about it. It's driving me nuts. It's a steering wheel on my underpants.
Last night, though, I watched something a lot less good.
Oh shit. Where did you roll, sir?
The prophecy finally came true.
59 episodes later, boys and girls.
And
one of the movies has been watched.
Bloodshot.
Motherfucking Bloodshot.
Starring Vin Diesel.
59 episodes ago, boys and girls, in episode 200, Matt and I presented a fictional, in one of our semi-specials, a fictional review of 3 2020 movies as though they had come out. We covered No Time to Die, still not out. Black Widow, nearly here, but still not out.
Nearly. I got a couple of boxes of Taskmaster bobbleheads today.
Oh, cool!
Funkos.
Oh, is that the hooded one and there's like a non-hooded one, or?
It was the hooded one.
Because I've got 2 on my desk right now. 2, not
Because on the back there was the wave, and it was like the full wave, and it was
it's like
Black Widow, Yelena.
Yeah. So you got Natasha and Civi's holding some kind of chemical or something in her hand as well.
I don't think that was one of them. I think it was...
I've got this one. In case anyone's wondering, I'm waggling them in front of the camera in front of Matt. And next to those, I'm waggling the Funkos. And then there's her in the white suit with her like nunchuck things.
Yeah, I think that was one of them, because it was like on the back of the box was like the wave, and it was like Black Widow, Yelena Belova, 2 Taskmasters, one with the sword and shield, one with the bow.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Red Guardian, and
fans of Tony Masters out there will be happy to have the 2 options.
Yes.
Just to reiterate, comic book incarnation of the Taskmaster, great villain, Avengers bad guy, Deadpool arch enemy. His name is Tony Masters. Just to reiterate, because it needs saying again, Tony Masters.
Tony Masters.
So it's good to have both options, bow and arrow and sword and shield, because he's always carrying them 3 things.
Oh, yeah.
His bow, his sword, and his shield.
Well, 4 things: bow, arrow, sword, and shield. Well, 5 things: bow, arrow, quiver, sword, and shield.
6 things: bow, arrow, sword, shield, clawed gloves, and an almost fanatical devotion to the Pope. So Black Widow and Bond, we've still not got them. But Bloodshot came out last year, didn't it?
Well, Bloodshot came out just before the lockdown. Like, it hit cinemas just as it started closing.
So our review at the time was sort of a satire of, we can't go and watch this because the cinema's closed now. But of course, time has passed. It's been and gone from any theatrical lifeline. And it's available on physical and streaming media.
And my fake review was definitely influenced by some of the stuff that I'd read about it online at the time.
Yeah.
And it was pretty close to the fucking mark. Except it's worse. How close are we
talking? Oh no! What? So to reiterate, what is the basic summation? What is Bloodshot for those who don't know?
Bloodshot is about Vin Diesel, who is a soldier allegedly, and as at the beginning of the film, as sort of payback for an op that he carries out. Him and his wife are kidnapped, and when his wife is murdered in front of him, and then he's murdered, and then he wakes up, and he's been like in this biotech place, and Guy Pearce with a robot hand is there, and he's like, "I've rebuilt you." Guy Pearce's accent gets more and more Irish as the film goes on, for no apparent reason. There's one sequence later on where they're having their sort of their word confrontation, not their physical confrontation, and he's just full on Irish.
Oh,
and he isn't through the rest of the film. It's very weird.
Oh, so we're going the Amber Heard Snyder Cut route here.
Yeah,
where are you going with this?
I'm like, was this a reshoot or is everything else reshoots or what? Because Guy Pearce not Irish.
No,
like fucking Australian.
But he is the Mandarin. According to everybody who's ever misinterpreted that scene, he is. The Mandarin.
He is the Mandarin. Fucking hell. So yeah, he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I've rebuilt you. I've put you're a dead soldier, and we don't know who you are, and you've got no memory. But oh look, I've rebuilt you so you can heal from any injury. You've got nanites." And he's like, "You put nanites in my blood?" But no, the nanites are your blood.
He's like,
"You put nanites in my blood."
That's what he's like.
No, the nanites are your blood.
The nanites are my blood.
Yeah, and then basically there's some sort of contrived coincidence, and his memories start to come back, and he goes after his wife's killer.
Where's my family?
Where's my family?
We just sound like Sleepy Sliced Alone, don't we?
Vin Diesel is Sleepy Sliced Alone, basically. It's like, Sliced Alone on Quaaludes. So he goes rogue, goes after his wife's killer, kills him, kills his wife's murderer, and then gets brought back in. And it's this, it's rip-roaring action sequence of him just like wading into gunfire and like gets his face blown off, and then it pulls itself back together. It's all bloodless though, because he doesn't have blood. He has nanites for blood. The nanites are his blood. Don't forget.
Are the nanites his family?
They're his family.
What?
And just before I don't know, just before he kills the person who killed his wife, who's here played by Toby Kebbell. Like
his wife's played by Toby Kebbell. Now that is a twist. I didn't see.
Yeah.
And I would have appreciated that.
And it's like, oh, I didn't. You're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. And then he goes back to the facility, and then he gets put back in his thing, and all of a sudden the people are being really cruel to him. And he's like, oh, here we go again. And then he wakes up again the next morning and no memory of anything, and he's going after his wife's killer again, but this time it's a different person. And basically the idea of being that he's being used by Guy Pearce to assassinate all the other people involved with the project. Mm-hmm. Like they're manipulating his memories and stuff like that with simulations. But there's one of the augmented people on this team of veterans who've had augmentations who feels sorry for him, and she wants to, because of course it's the woman, and she wants to help him, and things happen.
You will help me find my family.
Yeah, like he gets shot a lot, and then he comes back from it, and it's just really, really forgettable action.
So it's shit Groundhog Day.
Yeah, the writing's terrible. Well, they only do that once. You only see one loop.
Oh. But that's part of the novelty of it, surely. Yeah,
he does the start of the film. You see the mission, you see him with his wife, you see him and his wife die. Then he wakes up in the lab. Then he kills Toby Kebbell. And then it does the reveal that, you've done all this before and you're going to have to do it again. And then he wakes up again and he goes after a different person who Toby Kebbell was talking to in the previous scene. And then the movie carries on from there. Like, he gets sort of pulled out of it in that mission by other people who want to help him. So, the loop thing only really happens once.
But like that'd be the USP for this movie, really, wouldn't it? The idea of they've made him the ultimate killer, and they're using him like in a loop for their own. They're putting him in a loop that he's not aware of for their own purposes.
Yeah, but that's the setup.
But wouldn't you want the bulk of your first act into the second to be that? I'm guessing instead it just turns into a Vin Diesel goes and kills all the bad people.
It just
who are
takes
doing this
forever. Well, there is a moment. The sort of twist of that, on top of that, is that he goes. He finds out that his wife is still alive, and then he goes to find his wife, only to find out that she's not his wife. They broke up at least 5 years prior, and she hasn't seen him since.
Oh God! Vin Diesel has to emote,
and she's now married to someone else and has a child with someone else.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the whole thing of him, like, he doesn't even go into how he was killed and given to the facility.
But that be okay. Is that left open for a sequel?
If it did, I completely fucking missed it. Because I just didn't care. I just didn't care about anything that was happening. Like, there's one of the augmented guys who doesn't like him for reasons that we don't know. We just know that he doesn't like him because he tells us that he doesn't like him and he really enjoys putting him to sleep and wiping his memory every time. One of those guys.
I don't like you. My
don't
friend
like
doesn't like you either.
He's like a veteran who had his legs blown off and he's got these fancy robotic legs now. And then later on he gets a robotic set of arms, which you'll have seen in the trailer. They're doing that fight in the elevator. That's the action climax, basically. And there's a comic relief programmer dude. Well, there's two comic relief programmer dudes. There's one on the evil team who's like, there's a gag about him, like one of the women, the female lead is like 6 inches isn't that big, like because he makes a joke in his thing about because he wrote the script for the simulation thing and there's a gag in it about 6 inches and penis gag. And then he's like, it isn't. And then later on, he sort of, but not quite, approaches the Guy Pearce guy for a prosthetic penis, but thinks better of it.
Okay, so
that's a gag. That's a gag in this movie. Yeah, it's just a terrible gag. And then the sort of good programmer who helps Bloodshot Ray escape the RST, the evil corporation, is quote unquote comic relief because he's been imprisoned for 5 years, like working for someone else, and has gone a bit loopy from all the isolation, but he's really actually just very, very annoying.
So Rob Schneider in Judge Dredd.
Yeah, kind of, but it's not. It's the guy who's played him is more charismatic than Rob Schneider in Judge Dredd.
More charismatic than Rob Schneider. Full stop.
Well, yeah, it's not hard, is it? Like, he's a little fucking goblin man. So I'm sure I've seen him in other stuff. Lamorne Morris. What else has he been in? Nothing that he's not anything huge.
Nothing that's crossed your radar.
Fine. He's fine, and he gives it some, but it's just not good. Like, it's just boring, and there's lots of shooty and lots of bang 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 and lots of I've had me face shut off and now it's coming back in slow motion and slow motion walking. Vin Diesel slow motion walking into gunfire and throwing dudes around and. And then there is a bit towards the end where he goes into overdrive and his night's going to overdrive and all the heat drains from his skin, so his skin goes white, and then he's got that glowing spot in the center of his chest.
So he finally looks like the comic book character
Bloodshot.
For one scene.
Yeah, it's just crap. It's just, I mean, I can't honestly say that I know enough about Bloodshot or have enough reverence for Bloodshot as a comics character to give a toss about this film one way or another, but then actually watching it and just being like, I just checked out about halfway through, just like, yeah, whatever.
But does it fit?
Didn't care.
Does it fit in the Steel, Spawn, and Venom 2018 cinematic universe of these characters should have died and remained in the 90s?
I guess, yeah, because it's just not very good. But, you know, Sony's got to get some kind of comics stuff going because it hasn't got full rights to Spider-Man. It has to share those, so
they're freaking trying.
They got to get the Valiant Comics verse up and like, who gives a fuck? Like, this is bad. This is bad.
Well,
this is actually bad.
At least Netflix is having a go at it with Miller. What's that? Jupiter's Ascending's been cancelled before this first season. Okay, all right. No, never mind then. Never mind.
Yeah, all the stuff I've seen from Jupiter's Legacy.
Legacy, yes.
Jupiter Ascending is the
Channing Tatum
film.
is a bee and also a dog.
Yeah, that's Jupiter Ascending is something special.
Jupiter Ascending is Wachowskis, we love you, but you too should have stayed in the 90s, specifically 1999.
Yeah, like, Jupiter Ascending is. I like Jupiter Ascending a lot, but it's not good. It's a film.
Jupiter Ascending, make Matt say fun.
Listen, Eddie Redmayne is having a lot of fun in that film. A lot of fun.
But Matt say Bloodshot, bad.
Oh, Bloodshot, it's just boring. It's really boring. And flat and grey and brown and just lifeless and bang, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. And like the intro with his kidnapped wife and his wife's killed and that's his anguish and his motivation. It's so cliche, and like that whole sequence is full of like dialogue cliches and stuff, which they later go on to be like, oh well, this guy wrote that whole simulation and wrote the script for it and wrote the script for this whole scenario of him doing the simulation and then having his memories triggered and then going rogue to kill his wife's killer. Like, that's all. That's all been scripted a certain way. So of course it's cliche because this programmer's only got a small dick and he's cringy and cliched. But like that doesn't make doing something cliche and then going it was meant to be cliche doesn't necessarily make it good.
No,
like, I understand that lampshading things can be
effective,
and
humorous, yeah.
But that whole sequence goes on for so long that it's just so dull that it doesn't. And then they don't do anything. They ditch the sort of loop idea straight away,
which to me is the most interesting part of what you've described.
Yeah, it is the most interesting part of the film, and then it's the setup basically for the actual plot of like, oh, he's using this guy to kill all the people he was working on the project with, and he wants to sell this technology as a weapon. It's like, oh, right, fine. Someone's created super soldier tech and wants to sell it as a weapon and is being unscrupulous about it. I've seen this film 7 million times. I've seen Universal Soldier. You know what I mean? I've seen it. I've even seen some of the sequels. I don't need to see Bloodshot. Just because it's got Vin Diesel in it, and for a bit, he turns albino and has a red glowing chest. Like, who cares? Just don't. Just stop trying to make Vin Diesel still cool. He was cool for a little bit, and then he carried on, and now he's not cool anymore.
And then revealed how creepy and petty he is in various interviews and God knows what, and it's just really odd. Let him voice the talking tree, and that's it.
Even that I'm not too fussed about. Right, let's do some emails.
Do you know what we are fussed about, segue? Yeah, emails. We've got some emails about our birthday. We're going to get to them next week, so please stick around for more information on what that's going to be about. But first, Mayhew. What would be relevant to this week?
We've got a couple of emails, and this one comes in from our I don't quite know the right word for him, so I'm just going to call him our Ian.
Okay.
And the title being, personally, I enjoyed the Clangers cameo appearance at 12:04 during last week's podcast. Don't know. I haven't gone back and listened. And this is a big old chunky email, but I think it's going to explain a lot to us.
Okay. Before we begin.
Yeah.
12:04.
Movies. Oh, does he mean my Gwyneth Paltrow? Is that it? That's more like Beaker.
It's more, yeah, a little bit more.
But I
like,
get you.
They're pink and cute. Both look like penises. I can understand the confusion.
The clangers are.
That's the soup dragon, isn't it? No, the soup dragon's oh, my fucking dragon in space.
No, the clangers are like. Well, the clangers are like slide whistly. You can't do it with your mouth, can you? Well, I can try. Yeah.
I had a lot of spare time as a child to whistle to myself.
Yeah, I bet you did. Playing my own slide whistle. Ian goes on to say, okay, here we go. Strap yourself in, Chris.
I'm in. I'm strapped.
If you would like access to the email where I explain what an NFT is, without it sounding like a scam, you can buy it off me as an NFT. I'll put on the Discord links to how to pay me once this email's read out. So remember, you're buying exclusive perks and supporting Ian. Each email has a unique serial number and no more will ever be sent. Holding a founder's email entitles you to valuable perks and rewards. They will be sold at different stages and batches, starting with 100 emails a batch. Unlike other free-to-get emails, my email gives you complete ownership of your purchased email. That even means you're able to sell them to other internet users for real money, unlike a regular email. Because every single email you purchase of me really is completely unique. Even if you find an email you don't want or need, it could be worth something to other Ian fans. Join the community on the marketplace to buy and sell emails until you've built your perfect email folder. We can do this because every single email you purchase is its own NFT, a completely unique and secure token protected by the blockchain that can't be duplicated by anyone else. You can actually own a piece of Ian history. Ian, the evil vindictive person writing this, said, "We are tremendously excited to be working with Ian to bring Ian's huge global community an exciting new digital experience based on a pastime we all know and love. Emails. The emails used in Ian's emails are both functional and collectible, so fans can actually own a piece of the Ian intellectual property while they read." Ian, the garbage human whose email you're now reading out now, who's making this utter torture gaming and interactive of Ian Studio, said, "This is what Ian does so brilliantly, exploring new technologies and bringing our most iconic emailer to an area of the gaming industry which we're sure will engage and thrill fans. To close, if you think this email is bad, just wait until the 5th anniversary email." Ian, that's perfect. I'm going to make sure I star that and never delete it. It's so good. That's better than anything I have ever written in my entire life.
I want to hurt someone.
Do you want to hurt Ian?
I don't know if it's Ian I want to hurt. I kind of want
because
him to,
what we can do
I kind of want
is
him
we
to
can
watch who I'm going to hurt and think about it.
What you need to do is you need to film that hurting of someone, and then you need to sell it to Ian as an NFT, as a non-fungible token that is protected by the blockchain, and then only he will have access to that particular video of you injuring someone, and that is all the value.
I swear.
It's a scam. It's a scam. It is a scam.
The moment someone in real life tries to explain to me how NFTs are not a scam, I'm going to take whatever I'm drinking at that moment and pour
and
it on
drink
them.
It all.
Oh no, just pour it on them really slowly.
See how long before they stop explaining it. See if it gets like you just do it straight onto the top of the head, and as whatever it is starts to just drip down the front of their fringe and just down the nose and just maybe get a little bit into their eye, and then it goes down their philtrum and sort of bubbles over their lips, and see how long it takes to stop talking shit.
Oh God.
Next email.
My brain hurts. And
This one
worst of all, my soul hurts.
This one comes in from Sean. Sean says, "Hey lads."
Hey, Sean.
Title of the email is CWDCTV EU.
What? What?
So, I have been watching the messy world of the CWDCTV EU.
Oh.
So far,
Telly.
Supergirl and The Flash are pretty much the same. Batwoman has had improvements and dealt with its lead change quite well.
Yes, we covered that very briefly on the announcement, but neither of us have watched this. We've not covered it any further.
Hell yeah, I just don't watch any of these shows. So I'm glad people like them and enjoy them, but I'm just not that interested in them.
That's kind of me. I got to the end of Flash Series 3 and then went, I think I'm good. Like, I enjoyed that, and I think I'm good to go now. I believe you and Keeks ventured into Series 4 and you both went, yeah, we've stopped now as well.
Yeah. It was just too much.
I've really enjoyed what I've seen of Supergirl, and I do want to watch Superman and Lois when there's
I want to watch that. I heard that's really good, but we'll get to that. So Batwoman, the show has continued its focus on LGBTQ plus characters, but is also tackling racism in law enforcement, with the mid-season finale having Luke Fox be shot by the police just for pulling out his phone after stumbling upon a crime scene. Alright, ballsy.
Ouch.
Superman and Lois is the best of these shows, really showing off its bigger budget with more movie-like cinematography and aspect ratio. It has a fantastic family dynamic. Jonathan and Jordan Kent come across like the most supportive brothers. I love the way the more mature Jonathan is so protective of Jordan. Lois and Clark are just relationship goals, and the Superman action looks good and is used well and is impactful. As a whole, the show is pretty grounded in family life, but with a nice healthy dose of Supermaning and intriguing mysteries and good storytelling. Also, Legends of Tomorrow is a wonderfully, stupidly fun show. They had an episode where JFK and his advisors play American football in the Oval Office against multiple four-star generals with the nuclear football, as a stoned Fidel Castro fired a nuke at the White House. A general then wanted to go out fighting, so he ran out on the lawn and fired his pistol at the nuke, the day being saved because an alien took out the plutonium for spaceship fuel.
That's Legends, right?
That's Legends of Tomorrow. That's an episode of Legends of Tomorrow, apparently.
So that's still going on strong as, like, let's just put whatever we can
Dominic
out there and see what happens.
Has left it quite
in a furor.
Quite acrimoniously.
Yeah.
He got very vocal on that about that on Instagram. Something along the lines of "Yo, go fuck yourselves."
Yeah. It rounded up to "Hi, we've had words. I am leaving, but chances are I'm going to pop back for a special or two." Is what it ended up being. But it was like Desi made that point of being arsey about it publicly.
Yeah, he was really arsey about it.
To make them go, oh shit, he's about to say some stuff. And it's like, well, hey, Warner Brothers as a whole, that whole accountability greater than entertainment thing, should probably stick to it.
Where there's smoke, there's fire with Warner Brothers. I still think there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about that's going on at Warner Brothers. And you know what? To be on the interest of balance, a lot of the same stuff is probably going on at Disney.
Oh, yeah.
But they're just better at covering it up and making good.
Yeah, I mean, throughout all cinema chain companies, there's shit going on in terms of like gross negligence and systemic oppression and racism and sexism and homophobia and transphobia built within it all, and it's stuff that has to be exposed. But then there's that whole weird double standardy kind of thing of like, I stand with Ray Fisher. I'm not saying that's a double standard, but like he's the one who's pushing the accountability greater than entertainment.
Yeah.
But we'll also be totally fine with like Amber Heard and Jared Leto's contributions to the Snyder Cut and everything. And you're like, hang on.
Yeah. I get you.
Like we as a public still don't know exactly what Joss Whedon, Jeff Johns, and the other guy did.
I'll give you a clue. It was nothing good.
Nothing good, but we don't know the extent yet. Whereas there are still people actively part of your thing that we know are not good people. It's like you can't get rid of some of the bad people and then be like, these guys are great. It's like, no, what's going on here?
Did you kill the bad man, mommy?
So was that the end of Sean's email? Sorry, was that the...
That was the end of Sean's email, yes.
Sean,
yes,
very short, sweet,
so that's
and
emailed
emailed
out. Christopher,
Mattstopher.
tell the people what's going on next week for our 5th birthday egg extravaganza.
Cocaine!
Like
no.
we can afford cocaine.
Yeah, we can't afford cocaine. Not this month, anyway. So... Yeah, we next week, the episode that is our 5th anniversary will be going out on SoundCloud and Spotify and Apple Podcasts on Thursday, the 17th of June, and Friday, the 18th of June for YouTube.
Yes.
But you can participate in the episode live on Monday the 14th. Monday the 14th of June, the 5th anniversary of the Big Damn Cast is going to be live. Will it be in person? Will it be not in person? The roulette wheel's still spinning on that because the world, things change, but we are aiming... We're aiming, if we can, to be in the same vicinity as one another. At a safe distance, COVID compliant. Hey, we may even take COVID tests during the episode just to really hammer home, and also because it'd be funny to watch us stick things in our mouths and watch for our gag reflex. So, so yeah, that is the plan. What time? Where exactly? Very likely to be on Twitch, possibly YouTube, more likely Twitch. Up in the air at the moment, depends on what login details we can figure out, whether or not it'll be on Big Damn Stream or where the Big Damn Stream started on official CDJ, but either way, the other will be hosting it when it's on, so you'll be able to find it dead easily and come on board. And have a little chinwag with us. It's going to be about an hour and a half long.
Yes.
We're going to get drunk.
We're not too drunk because I have work the next day.
True, and I have to walk home. So we'd love to see you there. Monday the 14th of June, celebrate our 5th anniversary. We do what all good 5-year-olds should do on their birthday. Get a little bit pished.
Get a little bit merry.
Get a little bit saucy. And also, if you have any Big Damn Cast related things, like burning questions you've always wanted to ask us, stupid topics you don't think we've ever covered, or even just want to tell us what you like about the show and how long you've been with it for, or when you started listening, what your favourite episode is, what's your account number, what's your PIN, let us know.
What?
bigdamncontact@gmail.com. You can also tweet us at BigDamnCast if you keep it concise.
You can do that.
You can check out Matt live on Sunday. Twitch.tv/big-damn-stream. No repeated letters. It's all one word. Big Damn.
Yeah, it's just Big Damn Stream. Yeah.
And help us keep the lights on. Throw some shekels. Hey, all beer money this week. Why not? Patreon.com/bigdamncast. But until then, we've got some candles to count. We've got to bake a cake. Are you baking the cake?
I mean, I'm always baking some kind of cake in my belly.
Is that a stone?
Like a mud pie, if you know what I mean.
Oh, see, I thought it was a stoner thing, and I got excited. Oh, no, don't go on. Don't. Please don't describe your feces to the listeners. They've been listening to us talk shit for an hour and a half anyway.
Longer than that.
Goodbye!
Give it.